Hello everyone. Today I, Punitika Batra from Management Department of Tecnia Institute of Advanced Studies is going to discuss the difference between international business and domestic business. Well, business, what it is, let us understand that. Business is an activity that results from trading between any two given entities for value of goods, products or services. In every business deal, it is the currency that acts as a medium of exchange that gives a willing buyer the power to acquire any product or service that is available from a willing supplier in exchange of an agreed amount of money. Geographical boundaries define how a business expands in the local context and as well as in the international context. In the current scenario, where the internet has empowered the process of globalization, more and more international business activities have started taking place. The local business remains in context of practicing within your own country. Domestic business is any kind of trade activity that is limited to the geographical frontiers of a country. A domestic business, which can also be referred to as an internal business of a country, involves a producer and a client who both live in the same nation. This means that the laws, business practices and customs that are used in a business transaction shall be of the same designated country, while on the other hand, international business is a business whose production or consumer base is drawn from more than one country. An international business does not fall so much to the dispensation of local law but within international agreements for business practices. International business involves transactions between two or more than two nations. Let us discuss the linking points between both the domestic and international business. Well, both types of business involve a trade exchange that happens between a willing buyer and a willing seller. Unless the two entities of the supplier and the consumer agree to do business, there will not be any transaction proceeding. Business in both cases is completed only after an agreement is made over the terms and conditions and the currency to be used. The major differences between them is, while domestic business is defined with the view of geographical limits in mind, international business is not limited and exceeds beyond the geographical frontiers of a country. When we talk about international business, it operates over a wide scope of supply and consumers between many countries. Domestic business only stick to providing and facilitating limited exchanges that happen in the people of a country. Domestic business do not have to be very cautious of the stringent on the quality of products. The standards remain constant as per the compliance measures of a country. While on the other hand, international business must ensure and maintain very high standards and quality of products or services offered. The standards should be applicable and fit the global standards. Another major difference is that the stems of the capital and currency involved. In most cases, a domestic business costs less to establish and generally performs trade using local currency. On the other hand, international businesses demand lot of money for investment and establishment, but they depend on foreign currency to harmonize their trade. There are many factors that affect the production of a commodity or service by a business owner. In the context of domestic business, the mobility of all these factors is easier to achieve for they are in one single nation, more than how you would achieve the mobility of production factors for international business. Things like transport, installation of production and implementation is far easy to achieve in a domestic business in comparison to the international business. While in domestic business, the cultural differences are not as such that prevail, but there are huge cultural differences and social differences in case of international business that impact the business operations. When we talk about work environment and management practices, they change to suit local conditions in case of international business, while no such changes are required when we talk about domestic business. In case of domestic trade, there is little to no impact of trade restrictions in case of domestic business. But while when we talk about international business, there are many restrictions in trade practices, licenses and government rule that would actually affect the international business. So I hope you all understand the difference between international business and domestic business. Thank you.